Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit betrayawealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
George Politarhos, first and foremost, I hope you are doing well, but more importantly, how is your bride doing? It's been a full week of retirement. How's it going?
She is loving it. She's loving it. I guess she's going on her second week. I asked her the other day, I said, how is it? She goes, I'm getting, first week was kind of muscle memory.
Yeah.
I'm used to doing X, Y, and Z. So then she's staying up later at night, which is great. She's relaxing more, doing everything she wants. It's funny. We have our chores on Saturday.
Sure.
Like we have the way we do our suits. I love the vacuum. I know, folks. I wear a little apron and everything, right?
Little French maid outfit. What is happening?
All good. And I love the vacuum. It's just my routine. I'm up at 4:00 in the morning. I'm having coffee. Before everything starts, I get that done. Well, I'll not do that anymore. So it's kind of an adjustment for me too. It's like my one happiness, that and cutting the grass. But no, it's great. She's loving it, doing the horseback riding. She had a chance to take baby boy last week when he wasn't feeling well. So that was awesome, having Archer over for the day. And she's really getting into her routine.
Does she feel like, and I know you see this with the families you serve, every time somebody reaches that pinnacle and they're able to retire, the first couple of weeks is like a vacation?
Yeah, I can see how that is. And people say that to me, but she has had a full agenda. She is sitting there right in, because we made that conversation. That was something we talked about, that you had to have something as a objective in retirement, because you just sit there on the couch all day and say, okay, let me have another cup of coffee. Let me have a soda. I'll start to, nothing gets done. And it starts to wear on you physically and mentally, because you're used to social skills, used to being out and about, used to being in an office, used to talking with people, going for your walk, routines. She now has gotten into a new set of routines. She's back, as I said, she's riding, I guess, English style horses. English. Sure. Western has that horn on the front. English doesn't. I don't know. But she's riding once a week, probably going to start twice a week, spending time with Archer, doing all the things she loves to do. She's looking at what charities we do Alzheimer's Association, where we go, we volunteer in Alzheimer's home. But she's looking for some other things to keep her going. And I couldn't be happier to see, Mark, and you and I are very blessed. I have a great wife. So do you. I have two great sons. You have a beautiful daughter. So life's been really good for us. And to see her just at ease is priceless to me.
Right.
It really, that makes everything else in the world insignificant almost.
George, this is something you do for people every day, but it's kind of neat seeing you on the other side, experiencing this, because you help adults retire, but obviously you're not with them in the morning on that third cup of coffee. Like, you're not sitting there going, all right, what you going to do today? What's your purpose in retirement? But it is kind of fun to see.
Hysterically, I'm like, all right, I'm getting dressed. I got up and I have my routine.
Sure.
Right. I still have a routine. So I get up, I get my shower. I come down. She goes, so what are you doing today? What do you want to do? First week, I'm like,
what do you think?
What am I doing, Les? I'm going to work, boo.
You want to hang out?
What do you want me to do?
You want to get some lunch?
Go shopping?
Want to go ride the horse? You go with me? Honey, I'm still working. Good on you. I'm proud of you. I'm there.
Really happy for you.
But
yes.
Daddy still got to go to work.
That's exactly.
We still got bills to pay. I know you're retired.
Daddy here.
But I still got stuff to do.
I can't wait for lunch. It'll be about 5:30. You can do lunch at 5:30. I get home. Great. That's good.
302-330-2166. Again, 302-330-2166. We talk about it all the time at the Betraya Wealth Group. Angie works with Medicare and Medicaid because she's dealing with it herself. Ernie, the in-house CPA. Of course, we all have to deal with taxes all the time. And now George has a retiree living in his house right now, his beautiful bride. So when we say the team at the Betraya Wealth Group, they walk it and they talk it. You can meet the team at betrayawealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A wealth.com, or 302-330-2166. Hey, George, somebody's listening this weekend, and they have a question. And that question is, George, how do I know I can trust you? How do I know that I can trust George Politarhos and the team at the Betraya Wealth Group?
You don't. You really don't, Mark. We're getting a chance to meet each other and find that out together. And I'm not the right fit for everybody. I'll be quite honest with you. There's times I'm going to tell you, we can't work together because I'm not the right person for you. Or maybe you don't like me, it happens. I don't know why it would, but it happens where you don't like me. And that's okay. But I think what's important is, I have Alex and Jared, and now I have Archer. Archer being my beautiful grandson. And I've always morally had the vision that I have to look my boys in the eye and tell them I'm doing the right thing. I got to look in the mirror in the morning and know that I'm being the best man I can be. And sometimes that comes to saying, you know what, I understand what you want to do, but I can't do what you want me to do, Mr. Customer, Mr. Client, Mr. Family Member to be, because it's not the best interest for you. And I can't wake up tomorrow and talk to my sons or brush my teeth in the morning thinking I did what's right. Honestly, that we have transactional advisors in this world that all they look at is how quick I can get that check done and make a commission or get assets. That's not Betrayal Wealth Group. Real simple. It has to be the right thing for you. And the problem I have, Mark, is that a lot of people have the internet, right? The DIY.
Yeah.
Google says it must be true.
Yep. YouTube said I can put this plan together in 3 easy steps.
Yeah. Or my sister's a dental hygienist, and she said, this is what I want to do. And all due respect to your sister, I don't care what she says, because she's not you, in essence. And I have to be able to, once again, look what's right. Make sure you're taking the appropriate amount of risk, making sure you have the appropriate plan put in place, because it comes down to planning. What's the biggest mistake people make about retirement? Is they don't plan. They think it just magically occurs. They don't look at the long picture. They don't talk about taxes. They don't talk about Angie with the Medicare. They don't go over long-term care. They don't talk about expenses. When you work with myself and my family here at Betrayal Wealth and you become part of this family, we're putting a plan together to show you where it is, where it's going to go, make sure it's the right plan for you. Call me at 302-330-2166 and let's have that conversation together. But that's the only way you're going to find out if I'm the right fit for you. And if you're the right fit for us, if you come and say, I just want to do this, and it's something that I personally don't believe in, because I don't think it's going to, you only see the positive. You don't see the other side of this, right? Because the cup's half full, isn't it? If it's halfway, it's half full or half empty. You're looking at all the roses, and that's your job, folks. When you retire, Leslie's job is to look at everything being, yay, it's great. My job is to look at the facts and how it's going to affect you, not just today, but in a year, 5, 10, 20 years down the road. Leslie, I guess I can say how old she is, right? She's my wife, so I can disclose this. My 61-year-old wife is going to be in retirement, if she's like her mom and dad, my in-laws, till she's 95. We have 34 more years for Les to be in retirement. The plans that we put in place is looking at that 30 more years. And when you come into Betrayal Wealth, we're going to be looking at it in the same way for you, because that's what this is about. We're not the short race, right? We're not the sprint, the 5-yard sprint, but we're looking at the marathon run here. And that's how we're here to build. Call me at 302-330-2166 or go to our website, Portria Wealth. That's PATRIA Wealth.com. And let's schedule that no cost, no obligation meeting. I think it's really important, Mark. The way you're going to find out if I'm the right fit for you, how you feel about me, how you feel about Angie, Jared, Achilles, Alex, Ernie, Callias, is by coming in and talking and starting the process. Give us a call, 302-330-2166.
I will get an over-under from you right now, George Politarhos, because we talk about finding your purpose in retirement. What's next once you retire? How long do you think until she picks up a second job? Not because she needs it. Maybe it's charity work. Maybe it's volunteering somewhere. How long before she starts something else just to keep the blood flowing, because you can only ride so many horses for so long?
Well, in full disclosure, Leslie's going to start coming into the office here because she is going to take the job title of CCO at Betrayal Wealth, which will stand for Chief Cultural Officer at Betrayal Wealth, making sure that family structure stays in place, making sure the customers understand that, because that's what at the end of the day it starts about. It's right here with the family. So yes, when's that going to start? A couple days a week.
Yep.
When she fits into her busy schedule, but that's what she'll be doing.
I love that. And see, I hear Chief Cultural Officer. What I hear now is Leslie's the party planning committee, where you're going to have more client events, because we want the culture of the families that we serve to enjoy our time together. So maybe an extra happy hour a month, maybe another client event a month. It's
really funny you say that, because when I talk to my family members, our new family members come in every day, they know about my family. They know about Leslie. I speak about my wife because she is a beast at everything she's ever done.
Yeah.
Now they're going to have hands-on with her because they know her. She knows all our clients, all our family members. It's a natural fit for her. And that's what we're going to have her doing. So it's great.
302-330-2166. We talk family a lot here on Family First Retirement, because when you work with George Politarhos and the team, you become part of the family. George says, We don't have clients. We have family members. Meet the team at PatriaWealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A, wealth.com. And, George, we're always talking about income. Income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. One of the big conversations you have about adults approaching retirement is debt. So I know one of the big questions you get is, how much debt should I take with me into retirement? And for most of us, our biggest debt is going to be our mortgage. So kind of a specific question, though, but should we have a little bit of debt, no debt, our mortgage as a debt? In your opinion, what's best to go with us once we retire?
Well, everyone's different, Mark. You can't make one statement for everyone. Mm-hmm. I always use the best analogy I have for that is I wear a size 15 shoe.
Here we go.
Mark, on the other hand, folks, wears a size 6.
It's smaller every time.
So the shoe that's right for me does not necessarily fit Mark properly, and Mark's shoe does not necessarily fit me. When we do the planning process, how important is the plan when retirement comes? Huge, because it's not gray anymore, right? It's not in our head just sitting there saying, well, it's in black and white. So when we do that planning process, we're going to see how much debt you have. What debt is good debt? What debt is bad? I have so many customers, Mark. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is they have a mortgage on their house. Mm-hmm. And let's pick a number, $40,000 left when they retire, whatever the number is, $100,000. And they're going to take money out of that 401k, out of that IRA, and pay that mortgage off. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that people make in retirement. Because what is our 401k supposed to do? It's supposed to last for additional avenues of income for the rest of those 30 years. I'm going to take $100,000 out to pay off my mortgage. Wait a minute. I got to take about $130,000 out to pay because I have to pay taxes, right, folks? So I got to take that big lump sum bigger than I need. And then it's not all the tax I'm going to owe on that money. And then I don't have accessibility to them. There's a lot of question marks. That's why when you come in, we're going to go over what's a good expense to have in retirement, what's a bad expense to have, what's a good debt to keep, what's a bad debt to keep. But that goes with that conversation. That goes with the planning process. When you call me at 302-330-2166, we're going to go over the income plan. So where's the money going to come from in retirement? Is it going to come from a pension if you're lucky enough to have it, Social Security, your 401k and IRA, CDs, managed funds, whatever we have? We're going to go over expenses because some of the expenses we have, i.e., a mortgage, if we have one now, we're not going to have it forever, right? But maybe we're going to replace it with the travel that we start picking up. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over those taxes, that nasty word, the 5 letters that we hate to hear, taxes. Do I still pay tax in retirement, Mark?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, and you have to plan for it. It just doesn't happen because as Leslie has new muscle memory she's trying to build, we have to get new muscle memory when it comes to how we're going to pay our taxes, where we're going to take it from. We're going to go over Medicare questions. Huge. When do I sign up? What's the benefits? How am I going to do it? What's the right plan? That's why Angie is just such outstanding about this. The question is how she handles it. When's open enrollment? Do I want a Medicare Advantage? Do I want a supplement plan? Do I want to do, it's hard. When are we going to turn on Social Security? How many different ways, Mark? Here's a test from Mark.
Okay.
See if he listens to me or if he just closes his eyes when I talk. How many different ways are there to file for Social Security, Mark?
Didn't you say at one point there was like over 350 ways to file?
You're a little bit low. Must be that way inflation's dropping so much, your number's dropping, Mark. It's over 500 different ways to file for Social Security.
Good gracious.
It's not A, B, or C. You got to look at that. So we need a plan for that. And then obviously we're going to talk about, what did I say? Leslie has another 30 years, right? In retirement. A third of her life is going to be in retirement. Do you think we need to address health concerns, long-term care? Yeah. So these are all parts of that process we're going to go through together to get the right answer. So when you call me at 302-330-2166, that's 302-330-2166, we'll start that process and see where it goes for us and what we need to be in the best place.
And we're talking a lot about Leslie this weekend because she is now officially a retiree. And there are more retirees and senior drivers on the road than ever before, George. And there was a new study that says based on accidents and violations, the fastest drivers out there are senior citizens.
Yes, they wear a hat on their head. They drive crazy.
And the older they get, the lower they get. You just see the hands on the steering wheel, and that's it.
You put the pillows underneath you to raise you up a little bit.
And then at some point, you just crank the car and put the left blinker on and just leave it on until you get to your destination. But there is something to be said, George. Speeding with bad eyes and slow reaction as we get older, that sounds terrifying. Yes. So what do you tell clients who are reckless in the market or they're reckless with their spending as they approach retirement? How do you help them to slow down?
Well, I guess first off by quoting the great late Toby Keith.
Yes, sir.
I'm not as good as I once was.
I ain't as good as I once was.
Thank you for
but
playing
I'm
DJ,
as good
Mark.
once as I ever was. Thank you. I'll be at the
But
bucket
think
shop
about
every other Thursday from 6 to 9. Tips appreciated.
But think about it. We've changed. We got older. Your reflexes aren't as fast. It's kind of like how you talk about retirement planning, finance planning. When you're that 30-year-old and you have that Mustang 5.0 and you're driving at the 5-speed down the highway, you could really press the gas and have fun because you knew they had the reflexes and the time to stop. Just like your finance, he could be real aggressive. My boys, Alex and Jared, are all in the stock market with their retirement plan. There are no safety features at all because they have the luxury of time. As we get older, senior drivers, senior retirees getting closer, we don't have the luxury of time to be as aggressive with our retirement plan. It has to be proportionate to how we have the ability to recuperate our losses. And that goes with having a diversified plan. Having some money, obviously, you still need risk, folks, in retirement, just like you still need to take that lane when you're driving. But it has to be proportionate. Some of that money can be in managed funds, as Achilles will handle that for you. Other money needs to be in safer places. Bonds, fixed index annuities, things that give us a safety feature that we can never go backwards and lose money with, right? But it's proportionate to how you go. And it's a planning process. We talk about every time. Every time you speak to me, I'm going to say we need to do a plan. We need to have a vision of where we're going to go. Enough of winging it, because Leslie's retired, right? She's not able to put money into her 401k with her old employer any longer. So if she made bad choices and she's risky and the markets correct themselves, we could lose part of all her investment and not have the luxury of time to recuperate those funds. Because when you stop working, a couple things happen. Let's think about this for a second. You have a 401k, and every pay you put percent into your 401k, whatever that number is, 5, 10, 15%. Market goes down, you're buying a lower rate, but you're still putting money in. You're still feeding the animal. When you retire, are you still feeding into that animal, that product, that 401k, that TSP? No, because you're not working any longer. So now reduction is even more severe. That's what the retirement plan looks at. I want risk. I need risk. I need safety to make sure of it, because you don't have the time to put money in because you can't. You don't have time to recuperate and let the market go back up because you don't have the luxury of time. When you call me at 302-330-2166, let's talk about that. Let's see that. Because so many people, it's funny. You've never retired before. It's something new. You don't just jump into this darn thing and thinking it's going to be the same as it was yesterday, because you are not the same person as you once were. Our job is to get you in the right place. Either stop into the office here at 501 Silverside Road, Suite 31 here in Wilmington, or give me a call at 302-330-2166, or even better, go to Patria Wealth, Patria Wealth.com. And just a little verification for you, Mark. We have operators answer right now. A live person will talk to you as soon as you call. And it's funny, I had called a client back about taxes that we spoke about a few minutes ago, and she's like, "You're calling me back?" Like, yeah, that's the way this works. You're going to talk to George. You're going to come in and meet George. You're going to come in and meet Angie, but you're going to speak to George right away. So yes, I do call back.
They live here, they work here, they play here, they're serving Wilmington, New Jersey, Maryland, Dover, and the surrounding areas. It all begins with a phone call to 302-330-2166. Insurance and annuities offered through George A. Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.